It's the Weekenders on Triple M. For Seats Are Us with Dobbo and Margot Parker. We're going to catch up with Kath Rose very soon with a wrapper of what's going on in Brisbane over the next couple of days.
Yeah, she's not far away. But our resident real estate guru, Trent Quinn from iThink Property, is with us this morning. G'day, Trent.
Good morning, all. How are we on this crazy, hectic day when winter kids' sport all starts back?
I know. How many different locations are you going to today, plus trying to work?
Plus trying to work, plus trying to get to Doomben. Well, I'm currently at Woodend Park, the home of the mighty Ipswich Rangers, getting ready for my son to play under-9s footy.
Yep.
And then I've got to try and get up to the Ipswich netball courts. I don't know if you've ever been there, but this place, the netball courts, is absolute bedlam now every Saturday.
Mayhem. Absolutely mayhem. There is netballers going left, right and centre. Hey, mate, we thought we've talked about a lot, but one thing that's coming to a grinding halt real quickly is the $20,000 first homeowners grant. Now, there's a little bit of murkiness around it. I was just talking to Margot. We thought you might step us through it this morning.
Yeah, it's a constantly moving feast, but the idea and the intent behind the Queensland Government First Homeowners Grant is to enable young first home buyers to get their toes into the market when purchasing their first property. Now, everything that I'm about to say to you guys and try and broad brush over it, this only applies until the 30th of June. So there's not long to go because on the 1st of July, they may change the rules. But in essence, if you buy a brand new dwelling, whether it be a home, a townhouse, a duplex, whatever the case may be, you are provided $20,000 by the state government to assist that purchase as long as you meet certain criteria.
Now, Trent, this is where the grey area is for me. Corey and I, as a partnership, have renovated, bought land, built homes together, and on some of those occasions it's been in his name or our name. I've never owned a property in my name. Do I still qualify for that $20,000 grant if I went and bought a new property that was in my name on my own?
Correct. Again, it's great, but the interpretation of the Act is, Margot, if your name has never been on the title of a property and you were to buy the next property in your own name and your own name alone, then yes, you would be eligible for the grant. Okay. However, if on the contract to purchase the property was your name and Corey's name, and Corey has owned property before, then you would be ineligible.
Okay.
Right, so you're not buying it. You're not getting the first home.
I'm not getting it.
You're not getting it. No.
And again, the other thing, guys, to point out, and what not a lot of people are aware of, the rules changed a couple of years ago, and the $20,000 kick is only for new homes or new properties.
Is that so like land and package development type stuff?
House and land packages, or if you go and buy a display home in a new estate or a newly constructed townhouse or apartment,
units,
you are eligible. Units, so on, yes. However, if young kids wanting to buy their first home and their first home is an existing dwelling, and what they mean by that is a residential dwelling that has already been lived in, you are ineligible for the first homeowners grant.
So there's no first homeowners grant at all for somebody, because I'm of the understanding as well, Trent, and tell me if I'm wrong, if you are eligible for the $20,000 first homeowners grant, you also don't have to pay stamp duty at all as well.
That is correct. So, and where I was going was if you buy a house that's already been lived in, even though you do not get the $20,000 kick, they do waive the stamp duty on purchases up to $500,000. That would mean, that represents a saving, if it's your principal place of residence, of $8,750. There's no stamp duty applicable.
What is the concept supposed to inspire? They want to spread new owners out of the city in these developments?
Well, that depends on who you ask and, whether they wear a red tie or a blue tie. But the basic reading of it is that they wish to encourage, the construction industry and help our tradies and our builders and everyone out with new property. And again, by virtue of what you touched on there, Margot, a lot of the newer stuff, unless you're talking inner city apartments and units, is out in the outer-lying suburbs. That's where the new development is happening. I mean, out our way, you've only got to drive through the Greater Springfield area, look what's happening out in the Ripley Valley, and there are just trusses and trucks and house frames going up by the day. So that is the byproduct of the intent.
building the outer suburbs up.
Yeah, look, I think it's great for a young couple or a young bloke who's wanting to get in there first and buying a unit in the city, and I think it's a big opportunity for people to get into it and live in it and then as their first home, and it's a great opportunity then at equity, and it's just going to, in time, it probably right at this moment, some people go, oh, it's so unfair, but in time over the next years, everybody will get a win because it'll push up land value because there'll be people with more wanting to keep on going. So,
or even older
correct,
people
mate.
who have rented,
Yes.
for their lives because they haven't been able to afford to get into the property market. This now gives them the opportunity.
unbelievable.
That's correct. And a few little finer details just while we're on the subject. The concession on the stamp duty, up to $500,000 value of the property. The first homeowner's grant, up to $750,000 the value of the property that you purchase.
Sure.
And also, if looking to get in and take advantage of the 20 grand, it comes down to the contract date, not the settlement date. So if you're out there thinking of getting in the market, the date on the contract needs to be before the 30th of June. It can settle next financial year, not a problem.
Sure.
But the date has to be the 30th of June, and you have to move into that home within 12 months of the contract date, and you have to live in it continuously for 6 months to keep the grant, or they may put their hand out and ask for it back.
Hey, mate, just quickly, will it drop? What's the go? What will happen come June 30? Like they're talking
Mate,
back
they
to
won't-
15, or who knows? Is it gone, scrapped completely, or
It may change because this thing's had a number of different ways that it's been brought to the market over the years. It may change, but mate, my take on it, it's so good for the economy for a myriad of reasons that we just spoke about. They won't get rid of it.
right? Okay, well, all right. Trent Quinn, as usual, we'll talk to you next week, mate, and best of luck to your horse running in Doomben this afternoon.
Fingers crossed.
Cheers, mate.
Plugger.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. Trent Quinn from iThink Property in Ipswich. And we're going to talk to Kath Rose in a second, and another instalment of The Real Housewives of Logan coming up before 10 o'clock on the Weekenders. It's Triple M.